Today is a sad day. Today, I bring you the gift of terrible, unfortunate, and sad news. To a surprise to absolutely no one, the game we all know and hate, Concord, is being shut down on September 6th, which is in approximately 3 days. I'll give you a moment, all right? Let's give this game a moment of silence for its soon departure. Anyways, the game Concord, this ultimate failure by Sony, this $250 money pit by Sony, is being shut down in 3 days, and every single player is guaranteed a full refund by the time of this game's demise. And in my opinion, it couldn't come any sooner, because not only the game was trash, the people behind them, their attitude and their tone toward the players and towards the consumer was also trash. And we'll get into that in a minute. But before you watch the rest of this video, if you haven't already, I would recommend you go watch my previous video that I made on this game, because that sets the groundwork and it really gives you a good sense of foreshadowing as to why this heaping pile of is eventually going, or was eventually going, to get shut down. But if you don't want to go watch it, that's fine. You know, I understand I'm lazy too, but Concord, for a brief story catch-up moment, a brief summary, Concord is a 5v5 hero first-person shooter where the time to kill is pretty high, each character has unique abilities, and you plant the bomb and defuse a bomb. Haven't heard of that before? Well, you have CSGO, you have Valorant, even like Overwatch, but regardless, Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter game. You have your grenades, abilities, all these different things. So to add a little bit more to the baseline, this game has spent 8 years in development with over $150 million sunken into this heaping, just disgusting project, and it came out no less than a month ago. Less than a month ago, much less than a month ago, like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And to put into perspective how bad this game was, the developers hosted a closed beta and they didn't have enough players to essentially get enough data, so they had to open up the beta. And even then, they didn't get enough players. And then the game, with not enough players in both betas, was released with a $40 price point, and what do you know? It didn't even reach 1,000 players. One of the biggest fumbles in all of gaming history goes to Sony. And I mean, the question is, there's two questions, right? The first question is, who was this made for, right? What does the consumer look like? What does a consumer want from a product like this? And the second question, in reference to the game is shutting down, why? Why hasn't it happened sooner? Why is the game shutting down? We all know why the game's shutting down, but why hasn't this happened sooner? You know, thankfully I wasn't dumb enough to give this game a try, but to those who did, I am sincerely apologetic to you, because I really feel bad to what your eyes, ears, hands, even what your senses, your sense of smell had to go through, because I'm sure your bodily hygiene, the second you press play on Steam, just instantly decreased. I'm not trying to attack you, okay? I'm trying to attack the game, because this game makes, as a gamer, as an avid gamer, this game makes me so upset. The main idea of the video I already made on this game is that people, to play a video game, the reason why they play these games, especially games with hero shooters and the like, is that they want to be someone or something they're not. That's the whole reason why I play games like Titanfall, because I want to be a badass pilot who just grapples through the air and shoots people, right? That's who I want to be when I'm not ready to continue with my real life. You know, when real life is stressful, because it's been pretty stressful lately, when things in the real world just aren't going good, you want to hop on your computer or your console of choice, play a nice game, and just be some crazy powerful thing that is not in real life. You want to be something you're not. And the game Concord basically put you in a universe where every single character was ugly. They either had ugly makeup, or they were overweight, or they were this weird alien with missing clothes. I talked about this all in my recent video about this game, and who wants to be those things? I mean, of course, there's going to be like 6 people in the entire world who want to be those things. That's why this game had a tiny player count. But regardless, people don't want to be those things. And that's why I think ultimately this game failed. Also, because there was nothing unique about this game. First-person shooter, 5v5, heroes, abilities, grenades. You plant the bomb, you defuse the bomb. Again, we have so many games like that already. As I mentioned earlier in this video, not only does the game suck, but the people's attitudes and the tone of their voice who develop these games, like the lead director and the moderators and all that stuff, these people's attitudes and the way they're approaching this entire situation is not very good. So I have a couple of messages from the game director Ryan Ellis. And this is posted on the Concord Reddit, which is now actually locked up completely. So Ryan Ellis says, Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. I'm gonna stop Mr. Ryan Ellis right there. Community? I don't know if a player count less than 1,000 is a community, but let's keep reading. However, while many qualities of the experience resonate with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. So upon refunding this game to all the players and taking it off sale, also Ryan goes into further detail about how this game will be no longer available for purchase, which makes sense. Which, in my opinion, this is like killing something that's been already dying. Like it's been put into this earth, unfortunately, with every single disease. It's been put into this earth with every single debuff in every single video game imaginable, and it was just bound to die. So at least it's happening now, and it's not happening years down the future where Sony is just going to pour more and more money into this thing. So now with all the primary details out of the way, I just want to emphasize how big of a failure this is. This is arguably one of Sony's biggest missteps in their entire history. $250 million, or was it 150? Honestly, I forgot. But that's not the main issue. It's Sony, right? They can afford this kind of stuff. 8 years in development. This game, put that into perspective, right? This game took 8 years to develop, right? And it died. It's getting taken offline by the developers within less than a month of the game's official release. That is absolutely insane. That's like working on this track car that you think is going to be absolutely incredible, and the second it goes on the track, all 4 tires explode, it flips over 3 times and is totaled. That's not even as bad as this. This is just awful. So yeah, I just wanted to spread the good news, and I just want to, say, rejoice. We don't have to look at this disgusting game on the Steam store page anymore, and it will no longer plague your YouTube recommendations or your Twitch recommendations because it is no longer going to exist, which is excellent news. And again, I'm not trying to be a hater, right? I have nothing personally against the developers or anyone involved in this game. What makes me so upset about this game is that it's just the pure delusion of the developers and whoever thought this game was a good idea. Because again, who wants these kinds of games? This is happening so much lately with just content in general. What comes to mind most recently, in my opinion, is the Borderlands movie. The Borderlands movie had such a stacked cast, like Kevin Hart, Jack Black, all these people, and the budget was insane. And I've seen a few clips about this, right? And it's like the Borderlands movie directors and like all of these people that made the movie didn't even play the games. They had no prior knowledge to what Borderlands actually was, and so they just ended up with a movie that was trying to be something it was not. And it fell on deaf ears and deaf eyes because, it's a movie, because no one wants that. No one wants a Borderlands movie where the directors don't know what they're doing. A Borderlands movie that was assisted, like it had some assistance direction from the game developers of Borderlands themselves. That would be, in my opinion, I think that would work pretty well. Like a Borderlands movie, a good Borderlands movie is still absolutely possible. Another thing, the Halo TV show. That was terrible, and it is getting canceled. I think it's stopping production because, again, the people who made the show did not play the video games. They didn't consume any other Halo content, and so again, they made a piece of media that no one wanted. That is why I have such a vendetta against this game, because it is happening so much, and it's just plaguing just the internet. It's taking up space, it's making people waste money with false hopes, all of these things, and that makes me upset because I am a person who goes on the internet every single day and I have to see this stuff. I have to put up with it. But regardless, that's it for this rant. Sorry for not uploading in like a week. I've been pretty busy and I just got back from home because it was Labor Day weekend. I want to go spend some time with family. So I'm going to try and resume the normal upload schedule of like 2 or 3 videos a week. I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm trying. But yeah, I would say more, but there's really no point. So for now, and especially from games like these, stay safe.